Hello there! We spend so much of our lives in the cloud, but what is it really? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and take a look at the actual blueprint of our digital world.
And a very warm welcome to CognitoKeys. I'm so excited you're here. Let's jump right in.
So, have you ever really thought about it? What's going on behind the scenes when you upload a photo or stream a movie? It seriously feels like magic, right? Well, behind your screen, there is this massive, invisible machine working away. So in this quick explainer, we're going on a little tour. We'll start with the master plan, what I'm calling the cloud's blueprint. Then we'll look at its two main sides, peek inside its engine room, understand its layered structure, and finally, check out the different flavors of cloud out there.
Okay, so first things first. Let's get to the heart of it. What exactly is cloud architecture?
I want you to picture the architectural blueprint for a giant skyscraper. That's pretty much what this is. It's the master plan that lays out every single component from the servers to the software and defines exactly how they all connect and talk to each other to bring a service right to you.
The easiest way to wrap your head around this blueprint is to just split it in half. You have the part you can see and the part you can't. This is what we call the front end versus the back end.
So it really breaks down into two sides. The front end, well, that's your side. It's the laptop in front of you, the phone in your hand, and the browser you're using. But the back end, that's the cloud side. It's this huge network of servers and data centers doing all the heavy lifting. And the bridge that connects these two worlds? Yep, it's the internet.
All right, now for the cool part. Let's take a peek inside that powerful back end. This is the real engine room of the cloud.
So inside this engine room, you'll find 5 key pieces. First, you've got the applications. That's the actual software you're using. Then you have the services, things like data storage. And speaking of storage, that's the physical space where your files are kept safe. Now, the management is kind of like the brain of the whole operation, making sure everything works together. And of course, wrapping it all up is security, which is the guard protecting all of that important data.
So we've got all these pieces in the engine room, but how are they all put together? Well, think of that skyscraper again. Cloud architecture is built in layers, right? You start with a solid foundation and you stack everything else on top. Let's break that down.
It boils down to 4 main layers, and we'll start with you at the top and work our way down to the machines. So you've got the user layer, then the network, then cloud management, and right at the bottom, the hardware layer. Let's see what each of them actually does.
Okay, so the user layer, that's you, on your device, kicking things off. The network layer is the digital highway. The internet that carries your request. The management layer is that software brain we talked about, figuring out what resources to use. And the foundation, the hardware layer, that's all the actual physical servers that give it all its power.
Now, this whole architecture we've been talking about, it doesn't just come in one size. You can get it in different flavors, depending on what you need. Let's quickly go through the main types.
First up is the public cloud. Think of this like a public library. It's open to everyone, run by a big provider, and you share the space with lots of other people. It's super accessible and really cost-effective.
But what if you need more control, more privacy? Well, that's where a private cloud comes in. This is like having your very own exclusive, members-only library. It's run for just one single organization, so they have complete control over their data and their security.
And then there's something in the middle, the community cloud. This is where a few organizations that have something in common, say a group of research universities, they all chip in to create a semi-private cloud that's built just for their shared needs.
And finally, we have the hybrid cloud, which is really the best of both worlds approach. So imagine a hospital, right? They might keep their super sensitive patient data on a secure private cloud, but then use a powerful public cloud to run their main website. It's all about mixing and matching for the perfect blend of security and flexibility.
So, the most important thing to remember here is this. No matter if it's public, private, or hybrid, it's this underlying architecture, the two ends, the different parts, the layers. That's the essential blueprint that makes all of modern cloud computing even possible.
It's really the hidden framework behind so much of what we do every single day. So now that you understand the blueprint, the real question is, what amazing things are going to be built with it next?
Hey, if you found this explainer helpful, it would mean the world to us if you'd subscribe to CognitoKey. And don't forget to like and share this with anyone else you think might be curious about how all this stuff works. Thanks so much for joining me.